Day 13 was a day of personal growth as a writer for me. As you know, I was going on a big trip on the 13th, and it was a trip I wanted to go on. It was to Starrhead. It's beautiful, it's inspiring, it's historical. It's a really amazing visit, but it's quite far away from where I live. And as the day pushed on later and later into the morning, it seemed more and more like I wasn't going to get back at a good time. And I said to my partner, is there any way that we could go somewhere nearby, just a smaller trip today, and do this big trip again another day? Because it's getting quite late and I really want to make sure I have time to write this evening. And he was really cool about it. So I saved that time. We went on a lovely trip just to a local village, and we had lunch together and we walked around, and that was really nice. And we did some stay-at-home things. We watched a movie. We played our current obsession video game, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, today. But we didn't waste that time, and I was able to get a little bit of writing done throughout the day, just here and there, and then in the evening, I sat down to write properly, and all the words are becoming so slowly through the day. When I say I got a bit done here and there, I mean a very tiny, minuscule bit of writing. And in the evening I sat down and it was just like, I'm not going to get all of this done unless something changes. And as I told you, I found out last November that I write better on multiple projects. But for some reason, even though I have multiple projects available this month, I've largely been sticking to this new novel project, the Dungeons and Dragons novel, instead of jumping around when it gets hard. So I started jumping around, and I did a bit of my fan fiction, and I did a bit of my podcast, and I did more of the Dungeons and Dragons story, and I wrote quite a lot very quickly for me, and it's just amazing to me that I could have this kind of progress. So I only wrote 1,100 words. Now that's more than yesterday. It's still a lot of words. It's less than my daily target of 1667, but I am beyond pleased with that result. I'm so happy that I was able to protect my writing time. I'm so happy that I was supported in that by my partner. I'm really happy that I was able to get kind of the inspiration again, to get the motivation going, to actually do what it took in order to get myself writing, whatever that was, whether that was jumping around or whatever. And actually, I finished episode 2 of Souljar, my necromancy podcast, and I'm very excited to get that recorded and up and out into the world. This has been a really good day. Now, tomorrow is going to be really tough. It's going to be exhausting. I'm going to be running a Dungeons and Dragons game in real life. I'm the dungeon master, and I really enjoy it, but I always find it exhausting, and I get very overwhelmed by social situations, not just in an introversion way, in a autistically cannot cope kind of way, and I come home and I just break down, sometimes quite dramatically. And that often happens after Dungeons and Dragons, where I am not only intensely interacting with people, but also acting and writing and improvising. It's a whole thing, but I do love it. So hopefully I will come home afterwards, and we might run it a little bit shorter than usual, just so that I can keep my sanity. And hopefully I will come home afterwards and I will be able to write at least the 1,000 words that I've been doing a couple of days in a row now. For everyone who's on this journey with me right now, I really hope that you're on a roll as well. I really hope that you're able to turn back to the things that help you with your writing. And I hope that you can feel happy with whatever achievements you make this month, whether they are bigger than you planned or smaller. And as ever, I'd love to hear from you in the comments and just hear about your life, about your writing, about how you're doing. Thank you for listening.